Hello, my name is Michelle, and today we are going to learn the half double crochet. I'm so excited to be sharing this with you. And if you see it in patterns, it is often labeled as or abbreviated to be HDC. So let's get over to the creation station and get started. I'll tell you everything you need to know about how to do a half double crochet. To make half double crochets for practice, we are going to use just any kind of probably acrylic or worsted weight, just inexpensive yarn, and you could use like Super Savers or Mainstays, or pretty much any of your bargain yarn is great learning yarn, and then you can use fancier yarns when you are ready to go on. For the hook size, this one happens to be an I. I would probably use an I or a J for learning, and then when you kind of get you learn how tight you crochet, which is your gauge, then you can start changing. If you find out that you actually don't crochet tight, you can go down hook size. Typically this yarn actually calls for an H, but this happens to be what I have with me right now, so this is what I'm using because we're just practicing, so it doesn't matter. Bigger hooks, but not too big, are great for learning. So I'm just going to make my knot. I'm going to make a chain, and I have a tutorial that you can check out in the iCards for how to make a chain. I'm not going to show you in this video how to do a back loop or front loop. I'm just going to work in the front loops here, and then you can go check out in the chain video. I have all the information on whether or how to do things in the back loop. It doesn't matter if you're using a single crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, where you work into the chain, front loop or back loop would not change. Go check that information out in the chain video, and we're just going to work in the front loops. I have 9 chains on my hook. Typically for a half double crochet, you're going to chain in the 3rd chain from the hook and leave these 2 on the end. Follow your pattern, whatever your pattern says, because it may be different. So we are going to come towards us, then go under away from us and loop it around. That puts that on our hook. And then we're going to count 1, 2, 3, and we're going to go right in under that loop. We're going to go under and grab it and pull it through. And now we are going to go under again. Always go toward you and then under, back away from you. And we're going to pull it through all of the loops. And sometimes it gets kind of stuck, but you just kind of work until it's out. Okay? Come toward you, go under so that you have it a loop. Then you stick it in and under the next stitch. And what I am going under this as I'm going in, so it just kind of goes all the way in and under. Loop it, pick it up, and pull it through. So you've got 3 loops on your hook. Again, from towards you, under, towards the back, loop it around, pull it through all 3 of those. Okay, that is how you make the half double crochet. It's called a half double crochet because you're kind of, when you do a single crochet, you go under and you pull it up and you go through 2, and it's kind of got this little thing. And then when you do a double crochet, it looks kind of like you're doing 2 of those on top of each other. So you go in and you've got 1, you've done like the 1 like you were doing a single crochet, and then you go through 2, and so you do it on top of each other. Because we wrapped over and went in, instead of pulling through 2, which would give you your 1, you're going through that last one, so it's like you're going 1.5. So it's the half double crochet. It's 1.5 stitches. I hope that's not too confusing. Towards you, under, towards the back, loop it around, go in the next stitch towards the back, underneath this, grab it, pull it up towards you, under, towards the back, grab it, pull it all the way through all 3 of them. And let's just do that again. Like I said, sometimes it gets a little hard to pull them through. Okay, we're gonna go again. So we go under, we go in under, we pull it up, we go under, we pull it through all 3. And I have 1 more left here, and so I'm gonna go under, I'm gonna go in right there next to the knot, go under again, pull it up all the way through. And now I've got my stitches, and we're gonna count. I like to count the posts, but you can count the V's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you can count this as a stitch as well, so you could say that you have 8. Sometimes you don't count this, so you either have 7 stitches or 8, depending on what your pattern says. If it says counts as a first stitch, then you count this one. If it says does not count as a first stitch, then you do not count it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and then I'm going to turn my work. I'm going to chain 2, and then I'm going to go under again, and this time when this counts as your stitch, it comes right out of there. You count this first little space, kind of looks like a little hole pocket right there. That counts as your first space. So this counts as if it's coming out of there. And so then you go in the next one over. And you make your half double crochet, going through all of them. And then you go into the next little hole space. And you're just going right underneath. This little hole space is right underneath that V. So let's just those top 2 strings. Okay, going under, go under those 2 V's in that space, and then the next one, and the next one. This one gets a little hard because you're getting close to the end, but you can still see it's there, just a little bit harder to see. And then we need to do 1 more, because if we count this one, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need 1 more. So what we're going to do is put it in the top of this chain. And I just like to go into as close to the top as I can. It usually ends up right there. But if you're off a little bit, most of the time it doesn't matter. But I'm going to go back again and show you a little bit so that you can kind of see. We have here these 2 loops. That's a part of our chain, and it's coming and it's hooking right around where we just stuck our yarn in. So we want to go under both of those 2 loops like a V, and that's going in the top of the chain, except for I forgot to yarn over. Yarn over, now go under those. Ta-da, and now we've got 8. Okay, so what do you do if this does not count as a chain and you actually want your first 2 chains not to count? You do your chains. Sometimes I think you'll even do just 1 when it doesn't count, but usually you do 2. Then you're actually going to go in there, because this was going to be number 1. Each stitch should be coming right in that spot. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way through, 6, 7. It always gets hard when you get to that second to the last stitch because of the way the chain pulls. And then we're going to go in underneath. Again, we can kind of turn it. Sometimes it's easier if you go through one and then the other, and you're going to pull it up. And see how this kind of has a hole? This is why people will do one that doesn't count, is because then it looks a little bit more full right there. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So then when I go again, I'll go in right where that's at the top of there. And I will go across again, going in each one of these. That's the last one, but then they've got a chain, so let's count them before I do the chain. Okay, this one's not counting, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So then you don't have to go in the chain, and it kind of makes it look more full. So that's just what sometimes you do, but it depends on your pattern to which way you do it. So you want to know how to count it as when it counts and when it doesn't. And so we count this if it counts as a chain, we don't count it if it doesn't, and where you come out. Now something interesting also about the half double crochet is because of the way it works, a double crochet kind of stands straight up on top of each other. The half double crochet kind of almost does little zigzags. So it's really important that you pay attention to where these V's are and you go in under these V's, because that will help you know where the top of your stitch is. And I think that's about it for today. I think that's, I don't have an alternative to show you. I think that's good. I hope this tutorial was helpful, and I'm excited to see what you're going to make. Remember to let your light shine through your creations, and I'll see you guys next time.